So, you might have noticed that lately on my channel there's been a bit of a lack of videos, and there's a reason for that. I'm actually quitting Warframe. Yep, it's probably gonna come as like a huge surprise to most of you, but trust me when I say that I'm pretty certain about this decision. Like I've actually weighed it over in my head a lot, and I really thought about it. And one of the things like you, the viewer, never really got to see is not. It's kind of really, I guess you could see, it's called behind the scenes footage, but not really. What I'm talking about is I never really made too many negative videos on Warframe, even when there was some stuff in the game I really was disagreeing about. Like, I really disagreed with. And the main reason is because, well, I ended up, like, there's one point, I guess you could call it in my life, yeah, it was, let's just call it that, one point in my life where I was watching a lot of, like, I guess you could call it critique channels, so, like, the right opinion, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure throwing shade at them here, but just a lot of their videos, they just felt kind of negative. I guess some of their critique was fair. Some of them I didn't think was that fair, but never mind about that. Anyway, yeah, basically, what I decided is that I didn't really want to like have a heap of negative videos on my channel. I wanted to mainly just post a bunch of positive stuff because I felt like the world's got enough negative things in it already, and I guess maybe that's doubly true with the current ongoing, well, you know what, 19 situation. Yes, don't worry, I'm aware of that. I'm not just totally oblivious, even though my channel seems like I'm just going whoop-de-doo, la-di-da, I don't know a thing about this thing, but no, that's not the case. I actually do know about it. Yeah, so, reason why I'm quitting Warframe is because, well, I really thought about it, and it just feels like, it's gonna sound really weird, but you have to put too much effort into the game. Maybe that's not the right wording, but okay, I'll give you an example, and I'll put some stuff up on the screen to like show what I mean right now, because currently it should be just showing background footage of me walking around in Captura in Warframe, but now it should be switching to Guild Wars 2 footage to kind of complement what I'm going to be talking about right now. So, in Guild Wars 2, in my personal opinion, it's really great because it's really great when it comes to how much effort you put into it, and that when that correlates to how much stuff you're gaining in the game, mainly money. In fact, a time to money ratio, let's just call it that, because I'm going to be talking about the, I guess the gem store. So in Guild Wars 2, they got their premium currency is called gems. The main way you buy this is with gold in the game, and the main way you get gold, which should be showing up on the screen right now, is doing somewhat mundane tasks. So you have stuff like mining ore, doing events, chopping trees down. In fact, there's this one location in Guild Wars 2 where you just go to called Malcolm's Leap, and it's just I covered it in one of my previous videos. It's just filled with trees. You just go over to the trees and you press F, and then your character chops it down automatically, and then you just run back to this little Azura dude with this scaled icon above his head, and then you sell the trees. It's not actually worth that much, but it slowly adds up to a kind of decent amount once you finally get enough. And then once you get enough trees, you sell it for the in-game currency, gold and silver and copper. Then you will go and access the trading post, click on the exchange currency tab, and trade your hard-earned, or I guess in this case lazily earned, silver and gold for gems, the premium currency, and then you can buy whatever your little heart desires in the gem store, and most of it's cosmetic with a bit of convenience thrown in. Then, on Warframe's hand, it is a much more convoluted process. Also, another thing I really like about Guild Wars 2 is that if you are playing a level 1 character, you can go around the starting zone and just mine copper, and it sells for a decent amount. You're starting player in Warframe? There's no real way to earn platinum right off the gate. You have to kind of build yourself up and get progress, and the best way is getting void relics, but even then they sell for just such a teensy amount. You're usually getting 1 platinum per void relic, which means that you would normally do an hour-long excavation or something like I've done, like the level 1 one on Earth, where you get lith relics, and then you just try and desperately trade them in for players, and even if you use Warframe.market, I wasn't finding anyone who was buying relics. That's the general consensus. Even though I never posted any like relic listings in Warframe.market, I doubt anyone would buy my relics unless I sold them for like 1 platinum, and I frankly don't want to get that little platinum for the work you put in. Now, the upside to Warframe trading is that sometimes you'd actually meet some pretty nice people and make friends with people due to interactions when you're trading. Like, you talk about your day and what's going on and stuff. I had a quite interesting conversation about computer repairs for a dude. Even though that is the case, that is sometimes a rare example. Normally, you're just like, thanks for the trade, goodbye, and then it's done. And I actually much prefer Guild Wars 2's option of like a hands-off play interaction. So with Guild Wars 2, you chop down trees, you go to the trading post, and then you just sell the trees, and there's no player interaction. It's just in like an automated kind of economy, but auction house type thing. I kind of like that better. Because, yes, sometimes Warframe made me feel like I guess you could say, medieval trader or trader in like some kind of Western Arabic setting where I'm like, oh, come and browse my wares. It's like so shiny and stuff, and I got a kind of a kick out of that sometimes. But other times it was just sitting in trade chat for ages. Yeah, that's another reason I got kind of sick of just, I needed platinum for a lot of things, and even had like video ideas that I'd need platinum for. So sometimes I just spend an entire whole day in trade chat, and once I made 200 platinum. That may seem like a lot until you figure out that some Rivens are worth 2,000 platinum, or at least that's what people are trying to sell them for. I just looked at it and thought, oh no, I'll never be able to buy one of those ever. In fact, oh yeah, also another reason why, so that's one of the reasons I'm quitting the game, is just I got really, really sick of the trade chat. Another reason is also abysmal drop rates. Oh, and that's actually kind of another thing I enjoy in Guild Wars 2 over Warframe. Like, a lot of things in Guild Wars 2 are just completely guaranteed. You go over to a tree, you chop that tree, you sell that tree on the auction house, and, well, you gather tree from it, which sounds completely redundant, but it's true, because you are gathering logs off the said tree. In Warframe, let's say you wanted one mod, which was, I think it was called Condition Overload. You go to Uranus, feel free to laugh at the accidental joke there, because people seem to find that funny, and then you'd farm Drekar Butchers, which are these guys with butcher knives, 4 hours on end, hoping one would drop, and then you probably want to bring Necros, which again kind of forces you to play a certain Warframe, because you want to play him so he makes more things drop, and just in general stuff like that. And then there was also like Acolyte events where the Stalker's Acolytes come, where everyone wants these certain mods, and if you get one, you sell it for a kind of decent amount of platinum until you realize everyone's trying to lowball you and you're not really selling it for that much, just stuff like that. And then you had the new Warframe, which just came out, and Protea, which has like an 11% drop chance on her systems and everything. I actually got kind of already a little pissed off, I guess you could say, in my last video about Warframe. And then there was also, then also with the new update, the Heart of Deimos, the developers went and so basically, with the Heart of Deimos, there's this one thing that that was released with it called the Helmuth system. So it allowed you to take Warframe abilities off Warframes and put them on other Warframes. It was only like a single select ability, but there were most likely many unique combinations you could do. Like, one instance is you could take Valkyr's Warcry and put it in another Warframe. So one thing I was thinking of doing, I'm not sure if I could do this, was getting Volt Prime, which I already had, and then putting Valkyr's Warcry in place of his Electric Shield. That may be a terrible idea, because Electric Shield may be a good ability, but I never used it. So I would probably be there making a stupid decision, but I'd be not stupid in my mind because I never use Electric Shield. So I replace Electric Shield with Warcry, then I activate Volt Speed buff, I use a really, really fast weapon like the Dual I-Core, and then I activate Warcry, and all this basically, and then I equip Berserker on the weapon, since it's already got a really high crit chance. So what happens with the weapon then, what would happen with the weapon then is, I get a crit. Berserker would boost the speed of how fast I swing the weapon. Volt Speed buff would boost how fast I speed the weapon. Valkyr's Warcry would boost how fast I swing the weapon, and it would look like I'm a tornado of death, which just sounds really, really fun for me. But what the developers did is they went and listened to a tiny bit of forum feedback, and I was really confused about this because sometimes, like, the community at large will give them a large amount of feedback on the Reddit or the forums or something, and a lot of times they, for various reasons, I don't know why, haven't really listened to that, and then they seem to listen to this one person, and all these few people were kind of saying, "Oh, this looks a little too tough. It you might want to reduce the power of some of these abilities." So then they went and nerfed the abilities before the update even came out, and at that point, I was really, really mad because I was looking forward to those abilities, and at that time I thought, why don't you just, you have a test server, why don't you just boot up the test server, send a whole heap of players in there, and your own devs, and see if everything is really overpowered. Also, another thing I didn't really understand is that Warframe is generally a game where there is always a way to be overpowered. No matter what, players will go and find the optimal way to do stuff because some content for them is boring because they have been doing it for years now and the content doesn't really change. Yes, of course it is nice when a new update comes out, but the core content at the base of the game doesn't really change because if you changed it, then it's not really core content anymore, which some players actively enjoy, and new players also enjoy it. So yeah, it's a really convoluted mess over at Warframe, which I actually feel sorry for the developers that they have to work around that and kind of develop for that. It's really complicated and honestly something that, yeah, I wouldn't want to get into myself if I was designing a game. If I was designing a game, I'd try to make it much simpler to avoid this. And it's not even their fault. The game system just kind of evolved like this over time. But, as I said, I was actually really mad and disappointed at the Helmets update. Now, as time went on, I'm a little less mad and a little less disappointed. But also, in my opinion, the nerfs they didn't really need to happen. Like, they nerfed Rhino's Roar, which was an ability most likely everyone was going to put in every Warframe they could because it's a straight up just damage buff. But the thing is, originally, Rhino, the Warframe, had that ability. So if you wanted the damage buff, you could just play Rhino, even if you didn't care about all these other abilities. And putting Rhino's Roar on another Warframe, sure, it would make their weapons do stupidly high damage, but Rivens already do that. That's the thing I really didn't understand. So if you don't know what Rivens are basically, they're kind of a little like a slot machine in the game. So when you get a Riven, you don't know what it is, then you figure out what it is, and it will be for a certain weapon only. So when you get a Riven, you don't know what weapon it's for, so then you have to reveal it, and when you reveal it, it might not be for the weapon you want. But if it is for the weapon you want, then you can use Kuva, one of the game's currencies, to roll the weapon again and again and again, kind of like you were pulling a lever on a slot machine, and then it might come out as something you want, or it might come out terrible, you didn't know. So, but you can potentially get weapons that are so good that they can make a bad weapon decent. They can make a decent weapon good, and they can make a good weapon godlike. And that is the thing I didn't really get, is that since Riven's already a thing, if you got saved up enough platinum, you could buy basically a good Riven for a good weapon, make it godlike, and blow up everything ever in the entire star chart, and even just blitz your way through the steel path, which increased the enemy's level by 100. And with that kind of train of thought, I ended up thinking, well then, why nerf Roar? If everything's already going to be super duper duper overpowered, I don't really see the point. So, yeah, that pretty much covers the reasons why I'm quitting Warframe. I hope you didn't mind me rambling for this long, but I really wanted to just, let you all, my subscribers, everything, and viewers know why I'm quitting the game. There is going to be a little side effect about this, however, and that is I am not going to release the Warframe content I already had recorded on basically, I spent a single day recording heaps. I had a lot of footage. I had a lot of stuff ready to upload it, but now I'm not going to upload all that, and I'm going to delete the videos because, since I'm not really going to be covering Warframe anymore, it seems a little bit weird for me to upload content about a game I'm not covering. So yeah, that's why I'm not going to be uploading those videos. Also, another thing is that on that one day I was talking about most of the content I had recorded was Warframe content, hence why you haven't really seen that many videos lately, because I will not upload the Warframe content. There will be a Ratchet and Clank 2 video that's coming out soon about more of my how to get skill point series, because, well, that was some of the content I recorded, and I'm still going to cover that game. Oh, yeah, one more thing. You don't have to fear about me deleting any of the Warframe content I already have on my channel. That is going to stay up, even though I'm going to like change my channel icon and change the description of my channel, since it says I mainly cover Guild Wars 2 and Warframe, and that's not going to be the case anymore, since I'm going to quit Warframe and I guess cover more Guild Wars 2 and also more old PS2 games and just generally other stuff I feel like covering. Yeah, so don't worry, all my series on my channel are going to stay updated, even though I by now should probably make a new and updated how to get Ash video, but I'm not really going to do that because, like I said in the very beginning of the video, I just don't really enjoy the game anymore. So, kind of sorry if you really enjoyed my Warframe content, but as I actually said in a previous video, I don't really want to make videos anymore on a game I don't find fun, and also there's been a few instances of YouTubers who kind of just pushed through and made the content that's popular. Like, I'm pretty sure at one point PewDiePie actually done that. He kind of pretended to be happy, even though he wasn't really that happy when making videos, and he kind of regretted it in the end. And I quite frankly, I just want to, yeah, it's gonna sound really cheesy, but I want to stay true to myself and just make the kind of content I enjoy, even if it doesn't get that many views. Yeah, so thanks for watching this. Hope you aren't too upset about me no longer covering Warframe, but just, I guess, my decision. I kind of need to choose this, otherwise I'm just gonna be feeling, well, wonky, awkward, or one of those things while I'm kind of forcing myself to make Warframe content, like forcing myself to do something I don't want to do. So yeah, this is going on for a decent while already. Hope you understand my reasons, and thanks for watching this little update.